Alrighty, we're back here post week 4 with the Balls Deep podcast. We're just going to start right away with the recap from last week.
Alrighty, let's get to it. So last week we had Clayton beating Tanner, we had Sean beating Joey, we had Dwayne beating Nate, we obviously had Sam beating Casey, and another obvious game was me over Harley. So we'll move on to week 5 from there. Won't talk too much.
Biggest winner, Sam again. That's 3 weeks in a row. And then
biggest loser,
Harley.
Harley, even at 104 points, you still suck. So get better.
Going into some pickups, some transactions here. My favorite pickup of the week was Tariq Cohen for free. I think that's a good pickup. I thought about picking him up. I just didn't have the roster space this week.
So mine would probably be the pickup of, I would have said Aaron Jones if it wasn't for $27. I think that was too much to spend on Aaron Jones, but he's my favorite player that got picked up this week.
That's fair. Who do you think won the trade between me and Casey?
Who do I think won the trade between you and Casey?
Casey? Fair enough. All right, moving into the bad. We have a bad draft rankings. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes would be the one that's pretty obvious here. Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick definitely exceeding expectations.
You could almost even say Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan took it 2 as well.
Yeah.
And Mahomes are 1-2. Ryan was drafted towards the back end of our draft, and then another one who kind of flopped would be Russell Wilson, sitting at 20th in points overall at the quarterback position. I think he was drafted probably as the 4th.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, around 4 or 5.
Behind Brady, Rodgers, and Watson would be my guess. So I think, for him to be down at 20 after being drafted up that high, it sucks.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Harley, you still suck for picking.
We'll move back right into the running backs.
Yeah, so the running back, even though he was drafted highly, I'd say Melvin Gordon is the one who is most outperformed.
Yeah, I'm going to just harp on that one more time, that Casey and Joey both let freaking him just go right into Sam's hands, and they are the sole reason for Sam's dominance right now. I blame both of them. I kind of want to blame Tanner a little bit because Tanner was on that flip too, but I blame Joey and Casey because they drafted running backs. Dalvin Cook, which sucks, and Leonard Fournette, which sucks.
Who hasn't played, really.
Exactly. So I definitely blame both of them for Sam's dominance. But yeah, he definitely has exceeded expectations.
Yeah, he's sitting at number 2, right behind Alvin Kamara, the other running back on Sam's starting lineup, I guess. So Sam has killed it at the running back position, probably the most important position in fantasy, and that's why he's scoring 180 points a week. So then another guy who has hit big, and I hate to say it because I hate the guy who picked him up, is James White. James White wasn't drafted in our league and was not expected to be a top 10 running back, but I believe he sits at 7.
Yeah,
he's scored every week.
He's done good. I'm curious if when they bring back Edelman, if it hurts him a little bit, just because I think that kind of takes away some of his targets. And if Josh Gordon gets more involved in that offense, maybe that also hurts him a little bit. But definitely, I still like him. Solid. I think he's more of an RB2 instead of where he sits right now as an RB1. But I love the pickup, and I still do.
Yeah, I think Sonny Michel will finish above him by the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. You just saw how much they used him on Sunday, and
I think it's something like he touches the ball 80% of the snaps that he's in, so they won't give him the ball.
That's for sure. And they did spend a first-round draft pick, and that's the first time since Lawrence Maroney the Patriots haven't done that on a running back. So just shows how much they like him.
Yep. And then the flop, it's pretty obvious. It's Le'Veon Bell. He was drafted number 3 overall in our league, and he hasn't yet played a game.
Yeah.
So you can't be any good if you're not on the field or even at practice or even associating with the team. So he's the pretty obvious flop. I would be willing to put even David Johnson in that group.
Yeah, I could definitely add David Johnson.
But I think the biggest one that actually has played would be LaShawn McCoy, because I don't even know where he is on this list.
Yeah,
I think he's scoring like 2 points a week or something. like that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure
Dalvin Cook, but I mean a little bit of injury there. But yeah, I'm not seeing.
I think LaShawn McCoy might be below Mike Davis.
And Mike Davis played 1 week, so
Yeah, so
yeah, it just goes to show the differences. But coming back, we'll go to wide receiver real quick. The obvious one is Cooper Kupp. He's a 3 right now. As you can see, Sam's team is constantly mentioned in the players' surprise that have done good.
Yep.
That whole offense, I think they scored the most points 3 or 4 weeks of all time, and I think you can start Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Brandon Cooks. That offense is crazy good.
And Thielen was drafted near the end of I think the 4th roundish, so solid, like an early round pick, but you've gotten more than you would expected out of him.
Yeah, I agree. I think Antonio Brown's kind of a surprise for me, sitting outside the top 10 in our league. That's outside of wide receiver 1. So
Definitely agree. Antonio Brown drafted number 1 as the number 1 receiver in the league, and still obviously has a chance to finish there.
Yeah.
See what Antonio Brown could do. He's only 20 points behind, so that's 5 points a week at
Yeah.
the moment. So it's not like he's disappointing. He's just not living up to his initial expectations. And then the other guy would be Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitz. I think you could even kind of throw Odell Beckham in that there with the contract he just signed. But yeah, Fitzgerald. And that offense has looked awful. I think, and why I traded for him, I think that offense is better with Josh Rosen. I think Rosen will actually take some chances down the field.
Agree.
And he's still being targeted like crazy. I mean, I think he's still he's probably top 5 in targets. I would be willing to bet.
I haven't looked at it, so I couldn't say for sure. But I worry a little bit about Fitz because Josh Rosen does take those shots, and Fitz isn't going to be the guy who takes those shots downfield with. It's going to be more Chad Williams, it looks like, after the week that he just had. But I'm hopeful for that offense as well. I mean, I put a lot of capital in David Johnson with the number 2 pick, so I really want that offense to step up.
Yeah,
and I agree with you that Josh Rosen is better for him.
Moving on to tight end, Jared Cook. He's the number 1 tight end. At 31 years old, I'm kind of surprised he's breaking out the way he is, but he's on my team and I love it. And I think he really helped me beat Tanner last week. So shout out Jared Cook. keep grinding, bud.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say that I believe that Jared Cook is going to keep it up just because of the 10 years that he's been in the league or however long it's been. It seems like 20 that he hasn't been this. So
yeah,
it's hard
kind of a
for me to say he's
journeyman.
going to keep it up. But, I mean, you can't deny that he has for the first 4 weeks, so you can't deny his production. And then Ebron's up there, too. Ebron wasn't drafted, and he gets a little bit of a bump from the Jack Doyle injury.
Yeah.
But he's sitting at 5th in points. He scored some touchdowns. Andrew Luck's always liked his tight ends.
Yeah, and I mean, that team, besides Hilton, they hurt for playmakers, honestly.
Yeah. Hines is kind of, Hines, however you say it, kind of emerging, and he'll be another threat on that offense. But other than that, yeah, they don't have much. They get Robert Turbin back this week. Maybe they can make a dent or do some damage in the run game that they haven't been able to do yet so far because Wilkins is bad.
Yeah, and then I'll mention Jordan Reed. I guess I didn't really expect him to sit at 15 since he's been healthy. I kind of thought he would be top 10. I honestly thought if he could stay healthy, he was top 5.
Yeah.
But maybe that's me hyping him up a little bit too much. But as you can see, kind of a guy on Casey's team that, you kind of see the I mean, it goes can't think of the word. It goes side by side, saying that like Sam, you see a lot of his players ranked doing better, and then you see a lot of Casey's players ranked doing worse.
Sam's lower draft picks are so high up compared to Casey's higher draft picks are sitting lower.
Yeah, and so real quick, defense, special teams. The Bears, their number 1 defense. Granted, they did get Khalil Mack kind of after our draft, so that was kind of a big deal. And then the Eagles' D has just looked awful to me. I'm not impressed with the Eagles at all.
Yeah, its defense is that's not
even that whole team. Honestly, just I don't know.
But yeah, Bears far and above have been the best defense. I don't know. Jaguars are sitting at 6 right now, and they're about to get lower because they play Kansas City this week. So
yeah, Patrick Mahomes gonna light them up.
Yeah, you know it.
Alrighty.
We saw this week what Patrick Mahomes does. So
So moving on to a very, very important matchup.
Yeah, it's our. We didn't really do matchup of the week yet, and this is going to be our first breakdown,
Player by
breakdown
player.
of a single matchup this week.
Yeah,
We're gonna lose one of our winless teams this week,
yeah, and
unfortunately.
yeah, we thought we had to feature this one a little bit different this week. Do you want to start with quarterbacks? I guess
Start with quarterbacks. Yeah, we're gonna go player by player of
both
Harley versus Casey, our 0-4 teams, and we're gonna predict the winner.
Yeah,
So, and I think we actually come out slightly different, but we'll talk about that later. So with Carson Wentz versus Russell Wilson, especially with Wilson playing the Rams, I think I'm gonna have to go with Wentz.
yeah, I will too. I think Wilson's gonna get eaten alive. That offensive line is gonna get just
Probably.
destroyed by the Rams.
I agree.
So, yeah,
If I'm Harley, I would 100% have Matthew Stafford in my lineup. I did see that Harley picked him up today, so maybe that's what he
okay,
plans on
that's
doing.
fair. That's fair.
I would not be starting Russell Wilson, and if Harley puts in Matthew Stafford, then that's who I take, which I believe he will. So maybe I'll go with Harley at the quarterback position.
I think I still might go Carson Wentz.
Not against Green Bay, not for me. With Stafford playing Green Bay.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know.
And then Todd Gurley up against Dalvin Cook. That's a no contest. Todd Gurley's going to outscore Dalvin Cook by probably 15 points at the least. And
yeah,
so
I can't agree
just
more.
move on
That
from
one's.
there. So that's 2-0 for me for Harley.
You think
LaShawn McCoy
versus
Yeldon.
Yeldon?
I'll give Yeldon because they played Kansas City. Kansas City's run defense just got gashed by the Broncos.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think the Jags are going to have to play catch-up. So
And I think Yeldon does better in short area passes than
Yeah.
he does actually running the ball. So
definitely.
I think it being a high scoring game will benefit him.
Yeah, then we got Jarvis and DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm a big Hopkins guy, so I'm gonna take Hopkins
I
9
think
times
you
out
have
of
to-
10.
I think you have to give it to Hopkins. It's closer for me probably because Hopkins hasn't been the monster that he was last year yet. But that's what I'm saying yet. So he's got the potential to be. And if Watson kind of catches on fire like he looked like he was getting better this past week, then Hopkins can get back to that monster stats he had last year. Boyd versus Galladay.
I like Boyd. He
I'm
got
a
so
big
many
Boyd.
targets last week.
I'm going to take Boyd.
That offense looks better too. That whole Cincinnati as a whole, the offense, the defense, the team, everything's better. And when Tyler Boyd's getting as many targets as he did last week, you have to take him. I think
Kenny Galladay is the third option in that offense to me. He might be emerging to 2.
he's the 2.
Neck and neck with Marvin Jones.
I think he's the 2.
But I'm going to put him at 3rd for now still.
I mean, New England did just gash Miami, so just saying.
So
I don't know. Something about the Rodgers Stafford kind of that divisional matchup. I kind of think divisional matchups. I think they tend to be a little bit more low scoring, and I think the Packers might try and run the ball more, especially if Aaron Jones shows up.
I think it's going to be a shootout, and I would love to see it. So
Fair enough. Ebron versus Jordan Reed.
I'm going to take Ebron. Ebron has been scoring touchdowns. I think Jack Doyle's still out, if I'm right. And then Jordan Reed just hasn't been the same player for the last 3 years. So
I'm going to take Jordan Reed. I don't like the Saints defense this year. I mean, they looked better last week, but I don't know. I like Jordan Reed. I think you have Marshall Lattimore, who will probably shut down whoever he has to guard. And
it might be Jordan Reed.
okay,
The receivers on.
well,
Redskins.
if he does, then I guess I take Ebron because I don't think New England has a guy who can really. I don't know. New England doesn't have any shutdown players right now. I don't know. Gilmore's all right, I guess, but I don't know. Flex pretty easy. If you have AJ Green in your flex,
I mean, you probably argue that AJ Green, AJ Green is the higher rank between him and Boyd. So
yeah,
Is
or
that-
you could debate AJ Green versus DeAndre Hopkins.
yeah, I guess that's true. So, but I mean, it doesn't matter too much. AJ Green versus Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones looked good last week. He was the highest paid for player in our league in the pickup in the waivers this week. So there's a lot of hype around him. I think almost most people had money on him.
I had 17.
Yeah, so I just
He's not
It's hard
AJ.
to
He's not
trust.
AJ Green.
He's not AJ Green, and it's hard to trust a Green Bay running back week to week.
What if you were to debate AJ Green versus Tyler Boyd? I mean, Aaron Jones versus Tyler Boyd.
I still take Boyd.
You take Boyd.
Still
That
take
one's
Boyd.
that one's really close for me, but I don't know.
I still take Boyd.
I take the Ravens D over the Texans D.
All day playing against Cleveland. Dallas has at least looked decent in the past couple weeks. That's the best I'll give them. They inch down the field 4 yards at a time with Zeke, and then get one big play every so often. So they'll control the ball for most of the game. I think the Ravens will force Baker into a couple turnovers. So
Yeah, and then I don't know. I think the Ravens are going to shut down the Browns' running rush attack. I think that's been helping Baker. So I think Baker will have to go to prove something, and I think Baker turns the ball over.
and then Gostkowski or Robbie Gould. I mean, kickers are a crapshoot. Who cares? So I'll take Gostkowski.
Yeah, I'm in New England. Yeah, I'll be a homer here and take Gostkowski.
So I think that ends up for me. I'm taking Harley at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 spots. And I think you had one less than me, maybe.
Yeah, I think I was 5 and 4. I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. I really need to see who I actually put predictions on now. But I believe I picked Casey.
So moving forward, I think should we do predictions, or I think Power Rankings come last.
Yeah, I think Power Rankings come last. So right to prediction.
As requested by the fans of the show, they wanted us to do some predictions of the week of each game, and we're going to keep track of these. This is on the same sheet that we've got as our Power Rankings, so we're going to keep track, keep me and Clayton honest, and maybe even put a 20 or a Dion's meal on who picks more games right by the end of the year.
I like that. I'm totally down for that.
So maybe put a little bet on it. I heard there's some app called WaterBet, and one of us gets to dump water on the other person. So maybe we look into that. We'll let you know about that progress update next week.
Yeah.
What we decide on to keep track. But we are going to keep track every week. Loser will have to do something,
That's
or
right.
get something done to them, or give up some cash. So starting right now, we got Dwayne versus Sean this week, and I guess left is me. We should start from the top.
Oh well.
But left side is me. Right
I can
side
write it.
is
We'll write it
yeah,
real quick.
We'll write it in so you guys can see. And then the right side is gonna be Clayton's picks. So I picked Sean. I don't like Dwayne's matchups too much this week. He's got a couple buys, I believe. He's still got Le'Veon Bell out. And yeah, I went with Sean. I think Dwayne might go down this week. He's one of our unbeatens, so
I
I
think.
predict he goes down.
I mean, I think you got Kareem Hunt playing Jacksonville, and Sean has Mike Evans on bye. So that was my reasoning for picking Dwayne.
I just don't think. I don't think the Korean. I just don't think you can stop that Chiefs offense at the moment. So I don't think it's
That's
going to
fair.
impact
That's
them
fair.
too much. I think I've seen that Patrick Mahomes is projected only 19 points, and I think that is criminally low.
I think every production for Patrick Mahomes is low. I will every week. It just
Due to
blows
the
me
fact
away.
that he's averaging 33 points.
I will say Ryan owes me Dion's from last week. We had an over/under bet on 35. 35 against Denver, and I picked the under. He picked the over.
I will
so.
say there was also a drop touchdown in the end zone, a drop Tyreek
Oh, yeah, no,
Hill
it was-
pass at the 2-yard line.
It was close.
So it was a lot. We
it-
only scored 25 points if I remember right, but it was a lot closer to where it could have been 35. There was two or three plays that really decided it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yep.
Moving on to Harley versus Casey.
So what we broke down earlier,
Yeah.
we do end up kind of on our sides. I took Harley. I don't like either of you right now. Kind of taking the lesser of the two bads.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are awful, to be honest. At least Harley has Todd Gurley, I guess. But I don't know. I just think Carson Wentz is good this week, and I don't know. I guess I think Casey's got it this week. I do.
I'm picking you, Harley.
He's gone up in points every single week, and he put up 107. So hopefully he beats.
I picked against you last week, and I almost feel bad, Harley, for beating you so bad. So I'm gonna let you slide in.
All right. Well, Nate versus Tanner. We both picked Tanner.
Both of them with Tanner. Tanner put up a good amount of points last week. He's
he gave me a good game.
Since week 1, his week 2 and 3 were really poor performances. He dropped down really far. But this last week, he kind of got his lineup together. The James White pickup proved very helpful.
The
He's got
Lindsey pickup's not doing
Rodgers.
bad.
Lindsey pickup is great. He's got still 2 solid receivers.
And they both
great
have
receivers.
They both have good matchups this week.
Yeah.
Julio plays Pittsburgh and Keenan Allen plays Oakland. Granted, Antonio Brown does play Atlanta, but
It's true. So, I went with Tanner. I think he'll put up another good game, and Nate will be close, I believe. I think this will be a close game this week.
yeah, especially if Mixon plays, I think that helps Nate. But I agree with you. I pick Tanner.
And then,
I mean,
Joey, you're running into the wrecking ball this week. It's hard to pick against Sam right now with the Kamara Gordon stack. The only thing that gives you hope is that Mark Ingram comes back this week, and you can just hope that Kamara only scores 25 points instead of the 40 that he's been putting up the last couple of weeks. And so, good luck, Joey. I would hope for you if Sam had only scored like 160.
no, I don't know. Sam put up 180 last week. I don't think you can predict. I don't think you can pick against Sam right now. He's just on fire, and I'm not even gonna try and argue against it right now.
I mean, one of these weeks Sam's gonna put up a dud, and we're both probably gonna pick him. And we'll both be wrong, but right now, yeah, you have to go with the odds.
Definitely.
And then the kind of another matchup of the week we got this week. We got us two playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
I beat Clayton last week in a different league.
You
Put
did.
the hurt on him.
My team's awful. Nice. Okay.
I'm going to go with myself again. Patrick Mahomes is going to put up another 30-point game. I think the Cardinals' offense is getting better. I've got a couple top 13 receivers at the moment, and I don't know.
I think both my starting running backs right now rank in the top 10. Tyreek Hill is outside the top 10 for the first time since week 1. But, I mean, if Patrick Mahomes
he's going to light it up, so.
I guess I hope Patrick Mahomes hits Tyreek Hill if he does. I don't know. It's really close for me. I don't know. I like my chances.
Mahomes is going to light it up. I'm calling my shot again this week. I called my shot last week. I had a lot of strong words on the podcast last week. And, I mean, when you put out words like that, you have to back it up. And I went out and put up almost 170 points against Harley. So, I'm calling it again. I probably won't put up 170, but I will beat Clayton.
I think I got you this week. But we'll go right into the power rankings. Starting off at the bottom.
10.
Like every single week. I mean,
Yeah,
is this really a
I think you could
surprise at
even
this point?
Roll over. I think it hasn't changed really. Casey did bump up from 11 in week 2.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he's awful. I don't know. He's just there every week.
Until you win a game.
Hopefully his
think-
pickups kind of help him. I don't know. I just feel bad for the guy at this point. I mean, every single week just getting smoked. So.
I don't know. I don't even know if his name deserves to be said by me anymore. I might just stop saying his name on the podcast.
Yeah, we might just jump into power rating or not. Alright, so coming in at whoa. Sorry guys. But at 9 we have Harley, another 0-4 team. Man, I don't know.
Win a game and we'll talk more about you. Let's move on to 8.
Sounds good to me. 8 Tanner, he
Gets
bumped
a
up
little
a spot.
bump. He did get a 130-point game.
129, but who's counting? No, I'm just kidding. 129. I don't know. I like Tanner's done smart pickups at running back.
Yeah, he's
That's
been
something-
active and he's made some good plays. I think James White will drop off a little bit in value, like you mentioned, but still be startable.
Yeah, no, I think he's an RB2.
So, let's see some consistency, Tanner. You can keep your name in green for next week.
Yeah, we'll see if you bump up again. Joey at 7. I mean,
Staying the same. He had a decent week too last week. I think he lost by maybe 6 to 8 points.
yeah. I mean, if you look at Joey's kind of issue runs in kind of the same as Tanner, but I think Tanner has done a little bit better at picking up running backs. Joey did get Kerryon Johnson, which I like that pickup.
He did.
But weak at running back, and
And Joey's is more injury. I don't know what's up with Kenyon Drake. It looks like for some reason they like Frank Gore better. than Kenyon Drake in Miami at the moment.
I mean, and last week though, New England did.
And New England did stop.
I mean,
them.
it wasn't like they had the opportunity to really run the ball. I think, I mean, this goes back to show you, like, look, like the running back position's hurt for Joey and Tanner. I mean, and Casey. You take away Todd Gurley from Harley. I mean, his RB2 hurts. Like, you kind of see, like, hey, these people, like, they're issued running back, and that's where at the bottom. So, coming in at number 6, we have Nate.
Another person who hasn't really moved around in our rankings.
I still like Nate's team. He's 1-3, but I still like it. I don't know. I like Mixon. I like McCaffrey. I like AB. Brady and Rivers. I think that's a fine combo. I think Brady's going to get better.
And he's got Brown.
I don't know. I still like Nate's team, and if I remember right, I think he has Travis Kelce at tight end.
He does.
So I mean, I don't know. I still like Nate's team, and honestly, I don't think I want to run into a team like that in the playoffs if I make the playoffs. I think he could be like a 6 seed that does outperforms, but I don't know. My jump from him and Joey isn't like crazy, but I think there's definitely a gap there. I think you got Harley and Casey just way at the bottom. And then
do you think whoever loses that game has any shot at the playoffs?
At 0-5?
At 0-5. Your playoffs at 0-5, your playoffs start week 6.
I think you have to start winning every week.
That's what I'm saying. I think they have to win every week. So I think whoever loses that game is basically eliminated from playoff contention in this league. We did add an extra week this week.
Yeah,
this
it's 13
to week 13 instead of 12. But I think whoever loses that game is it. I will say, I'll give you guys hope. I started 1-7 in the league last year, made the playoffs, made the semifinals.
I mean, we've seen players come in at, like 5-7 and 6-6 when we were playing 12 weeks. So, I mean, it's still doable, but like your team has to like go off.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on to 5. Let's get into the top 5, top half of our league. Sean's sitting at 3-1. Sean's had some good solid weeks. I think you'll see when we get to the top 4 why he hasn't cracked that yet. So yeah, his team looks good.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got Watson, Hunt, and Barkley. Solid top of the lineup.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like his running backs a lot. I mean, Ertz, I think he gets a bump with one's coming back. Alshon Jeffrey also is so that is him, Jeffrey and Evans. I like Sean's team. I think we start seeing a gap. I think the difference between Sean and Nate is bigger. I think your top 5 is kind of solidified right now. Yeah. I think I can still see move 6 to 8. But I still like Sean's team. And Robert Woods, like we mentioned, the Rams offense earlier, I think they got 3 startable wide receivers in my opinion. Jared Goff is startable. Should have started him last week. And then Todd Gurley is obviously startable. That's 5 players on offense. I mean, I can't think of another offense right now that has 5 startable players, in my opinion. I mean, you can look at...
You get towards the Chiefs, if you include Watkins, I think you've got 5, but he got hurt this past week. So
that's fair. Moving on to 4, we have Ryan. I think me and Ryan are really close.
I think the top 2 through 4 are very close.
Yeah, I agree.
I think 2 through 4 could go in any order, personally.
Yeah.
They're kind of... You'll see it moving up. 2 through 4 are super close right now. I think 5 is a little bit further back. Just a little bit, though. Yeah, I like my team right now. I'm on a decent roll. I don't think I haven't put up less than 100 in any game this week, and I think my lowest is like 108, so I'm liking looking at my team.
I think my lowest is
happy.
Like whatever I scored, not last week, the week before, but I think it was like 118-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have more points for, and I think that's why I think that's the reason that we have it the way we do. But I agree. I think me and Ryan's team are super close, and then I think we'll have a good game this week. But.
Yep. So then moving on to 3, like we kind of
already talked about.
We got Clayton, and so yeah, he has a couple. I think it's 20-ish 20 to 25 more points than I do at the moment.
Yeah, and then we both have. So he has Ingram coming back, and then I have Baldwin who looked healthy last week. So I mean, I will say unless Steelers trade James Conner, I'm going to lose a good running back.
That's true.
Yeah, we both have some players that are going to come back. So
yeah, I'm super excited to watch Ingram. Dwayne's sitting at 4-0. It's hard to take an unbeaten team, even if they've got I believe the points right now wise goes Sam, Clayton, me, and then Dwayne is actually fourth. But I mean, in the end, your record is the first criteria for making the playoffs, and it's not
getting the bye,
and it's not like an immense
amount
point
of
difference
Yeah.
at the moment. So you got to kind of keep Dwayne up there. Dwayne's still doesn't have his first pick. He's made good pickups. He's set his lineup well.
Yeah, between Breida and
Yeah.
Breida's really helped him out, and I think Breida will continue to help him out. But yeah, Dwayne, I think he just nose down, head down, and just I don't know. He always does pretty good. So
Still sitting at $100 in the waivers.
yeah.
All right, and then it's obvious Sam stays green. He even moves up somehow.
I
after
just
kicking the crap out of all of us.
183. Like when was the last time someone scored 183? I don't know. I think
So-
1 year when Cub was in the league, I think he had a good week one time.
I've seen 150, 160 point games before, but
Yeah,
180 is pretty unheard of.
I don't know. It's unbelievable. Sam is gonna be hard to beat all year. I mean, maybe Mark Ingram
Helps.
helps
Helps all of us.
helps all of us and gives us all hope. I don't know.
One thing I want to bring up, me and Clayton looked back at episode 1 that we did when we were just youngins at this a few weeks ago where we did our statistical breakdown. You would never believe, Sam and Casey probably remember, are probably the ones who it sticks out in their mind for. We ranked Sam at 10 and Casey at 1.
We did rank me and you kind of high though.
We did have me and you, brother.
We kind of had us right. We had Tanner low.
We did have Tanner.
So
I think we had
Tanner's-
Harley around 9.
We I mean. We had some outliers, but I mean, generally,
It's funny that
we had Dwayne high.
We did.
I think we had Nate kind of in the middle. We had Joe kind of. I think we did all right.
It's just the
you
1
take
in
away
10.
Sam and Casey. I think we did okay.
But it's hilarious to me that 1 and 10 are completely swapped. It shows you that the math doesn't always work in football.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp has to be a huge reason for that. I thought Cooper Kupp was a bench guy, and right now I would start him every single week.
Yeah.
And then Dalvin Cook, I would put him on my bench before the season. I start him every single week.
Yeah.
So it's just like stuff like that has happened a little bit, and I think that's why.
Yeah.
But
We keep it honest with you here on the Balls Deep podcast, so
Yeah.
we don't up to our mistake there. Apologize to Sam and make fun of Casey a little bit more. So
yeah, I'm doing my best. I think that's it for this
I
week,
think that's all I've
though.
got. So
So, all right, thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Joey, for the input. Good luck to everybody this week, except Ryan. I really would love to beat you.
it's gonna be a hostile environment here on Sunday. Me and Clayton, I don't know if you guys have seen our setup. We probably send Snapchats. We have 3 TVs going at all times. We just paid $80 this past week to get Sunday tickets.
Yeah, we got Sunday Ticket on one, we got the local channels on the other, and then we got Red Zone on the other.
And
So-
it's me and Clayton are separated about 5 feet. So it's usually pretty intense, and we haven't even really played each other. I mean,
Yeah.
we played each other last week in a league that neither of us really care about as much. I think this has always been the league that we both commit most of our time to and care about the most. So it's going to be intense Sunday.
yeah, no, for
I'm
sure.
excited for it,
I can't wait.
and excited to move to 4-1.
I mean, we'll see what happens. All right, see you guys.
Later.